Yes guys, what is happening? Welcome back to the channel. So you might notice something different in this one is that you can now listen to this. And yes, we have got a new podcast which is called TRYB Talks. So this is a little bit different than a normal podcast. I don't want to put the name podcast on it because all it's going to be is snippets of me talking through either things that I've heard, things that I've seen, or things that I want to educate you on. And again, sometimes you can't watch a YouTube video while you're driving, or you can't watch a YouTube video while you're in the gym or while you're getting your step count. So I thought, why not make it a video on YouTube and then also make it an audio for podcast as well. So yeah, this is what we've got coming up over the next months and months. So every single week we're going to be uploading something new about topics, either something that I've learned myself, something that's on podcasts. You might see some stuff on my channel already, but it's going to be more at an audio based as well. So that's what we're going to be focused on. And what I wanted to focus on today was something that's been playing on my mind a lot recently, and that is high standards. So I think holding yourself to a high standard is one of the most important things that you can do. It's the most selfless act. And the reason for that is because you would not miss an appointment with your dentist or with your doctor or with your friend or with your family or whatever it may be. You would not miss it if there was a date and a time put on it. But then it's so easy for us to go, oh, I'll just miss that gym session, or I'll just do that tomorrow, or I don't need to do it because no one's watching. And in my opinion, that's the worst thing that you can do because you are really dropping your standards and you're letting yourself down. So if you wouldn't do it to anyone else, why do you often do it to yourself? So what you want to think about is everything that you say you're going to do, absolutely do it. And drive head first into it. Even if that's fear attached to it, or even if there's some sort of skepticism attached to it, run to it head first because you're gonna succeed by doing that. And what I mean by this is that if you say you're gonna run a marathon, book a marathon and run it. If you say that you're gonna go to the gym 3 times a week, go to the gym 3 times a week. Even if you are tired, even if you are hungry, even if it's late, early, busy, tired, whatever it is, you get that done because you hold yourself to a high standard. And don't get me wrong, there are some people that are just built different in this world. The likes of Goggins, the likes of Andy Frisella. All of these guys are built different and they might have really, really, really high levels of discipline and really, really high levels of standard, which I really admire. But for most of us, it's going to take a little bit of grit and it's sometimes going to be challenging and it's sometimes not going to be the thing that we want to do. But we've got to do it anyway, and that's the most important thing, is that we've got to still do it when we don't want to. So if you are starting and you don't feel like you're the most disciplined person in the world, or you're struggling to build up momentum or build up routine or motivation, the best thing that you can do is drive head first. And don't get me wrong, this is the most challenging part of this, is like that first initial 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, for example. Then it starts to become a habit, then it starts to become routine, then it starts to become non-negotiable. But in the start especially, it's very easy to go, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow, or I'll just move that. Whereas if you are listening to this, if you are watching this, I want you to dedicate the next 4 weeks to what your future self would do. So if your future self, what does it look like? It might even be they wake up at 6 o'clock every morning and they go to the gym 4 times a week and they read 10 pages of a book. There's just 3 simple examples that you can use. And I want you to treat yourself like that future person for the next 4 weeks. And what do you think is going to happen at the end of them 4 weeks? You're going to turn into that future self. That 6 a.m. wake up is going to become second nature. It's going to become part of your routine. It's going to become normal, not going to be as tired, not reliant on too much caffeine, not anxious about getting out of bed. The 4 sessions a week just become the absolute standard of your high standards in terms of it gets done regardless because that's something that you value in your life. And then the 10 pages quickly turn to, well, if I've read 10 pages, I might as well read a chapter. Or if I've read a chapter, I might as well read 2 chapters. And you can see how that works, but the hardest thing is that initial starting position, that initial 4 weeks or so to build the habit. And don't get me wrong, a habit is somewhere between 12 and 66 days to form. That's when it's the most crucial part. That's when it's going to be the hardest part. That's when it's going to be the most challenging to fight them demons or them devils on your shoulder being, just do it tomorrow, just not, what's the point, no one's watching, etc., etc. So use that first 4 weeks as the primer, the driver. Drive headfirst into fear, tick all the boxes, no matter the circumstances. And that's where I really want you to start. The second thing that I want to add to that is accountability. And again, accountability is a really, really good tool. That's basically my job. I am an accountability expert. People rely on me. I am their accountability to get in shape, to tick the boxes, to hold these high standards. So it can be someone like a coach like myself, or it can be the likes of a family member. It can be a bet. So a bet with your friend, if you don't do something, what is the consequence of that? Or it can even be social media. So actually putting out there to people following you, this is what I am setting out to do. And what happens if you don't do that? You're the one that looks like a fool. You're the one that's got to face the music. You're the one that people think is flaky, and you know, I knew they wouldn't do that. Why would you ever have that attached to your name? If you're the person that people think you're never going to do that because they always flake, or you know, or they always say they're going to do something and never do it, do you really want to have that name attached to you, or that stigma attached to you? No, you want to be that person that goes, I'm going to run a marathon, and the person goes, yeah, you are, because I no doubt that you'll do that. I'm going to be the person that's going to make £1 million. Yeah, no doubt, because I can just see how hard you work every single day. That's the type of person that you want to be, and they're the high standards that I'm talking about. So if there's anything that you can take away from this short clip, hold yourself to a high standard and spend the first 4 weeks really driving that discipline home, and that'll last you a lifetime.